2017, a guy named Jared moved into a small rental house just outside Flagstaff, Arizona. He'd just gotten out of a long relationship and the place was perfect, cheap, quiet, no roommates. The landlord lived out of state and didn't ask many questions. Jared worked nights managing inventory at a warehouse, so his days were usually spent sleeping and his nights getting home around 2 a.m. A couple of months into living there, he started getting calls in the middle of the night, always from a blocked number. No voicemails, no texts, just one ring, then silence. At first, he ignored it, but then it started happening every single night, always between 2:13 and 2:16 a.m. At first, he joked about it at work, calling it his haunted ex or the ghost of bad credit. But then one night, he picked up, just to see. No one said anything, but he could hear something, breathing slow and steady, like someone was standing still, close to the phone and just listening. He said hello twice. The call lasted 16 seconds. Then the line went dead. That night, he didn't sleep. After the call, Jared stopped answering, but the phone kept ringing at the same time every night. He blocked all unknown numbers, switched his phone to silent. Still, the calls came. One ring, never more. Always between 2:13 and 2:16 a.m. He started checking the security app on his phone. His landlord had installed a doorbell camera before he moved in. For a while, nothing. Just nighttime silence, bugs flitting across the screen. But one night, around 2:15 a.m., he decided to scrub through the footage out of curiosity. He paused when he saw something strange. The motion alert didn't come from the front door, it came from the side of the house. No camera there. Just a notification saying, back door, sensor triggered. He didn't even know there was a back door sensor. He got up, flipped on the lights, and checked the back. Door was locked. Nothing was disturbed. But when he opened it, the motion sensor light outside didn't turn on. Which was weird, because it had before. When he checked the app again, the log showed the back door had been triggered 3 times in the last week, always within minutes of the phone ringing. Jared started to take the whole thing more seriously. He told one of his co-workers, Manny, what had been going on. Manny was ex-military, the kind of guy who always had a flashlight on him and locked his car twice. He offered to swing by one night after work just to help Jared check the place out. So around 2 a.m., they pulled up to Jared's driveway. As they stepped out of the car, Manny stopped.
Why is there a shopping cart by your fence?
Jared looked. Sure enough, sitting just outside the edge of his yard, partially hidden behind a bush, was a rusted metal shopping cart with nothing in it. No stores nearby, just woods and a stretch of empty land behind the property. They walked over. Inside the cart was a crumpled blanket, and underneath that what looked like an empty coffee cup and a pair of cheap binoculars. Jared asked Manny if maybe a homeless person had been squatting nearby. Manny shrugged.
Maybe, but someone's been watching you. This isn't just junk, this is a setup.
They dragged the cart to the edge of the woods and dumped everything out. Jared thought that'd be the end of it. But the next night, the cart was back. Same spot, same blanket. This time, there was something new inside it. A used matchbook, with Jared's address written in pencil on the inside cover. After the matchbook incident, Jared called the police. They sent a deputy who walked the property, took a report, and basically told Jared there wasn't much they could do unless someone actually broke in. Jared asked about cameras. The deputy recommended a few, but said bluntly, if someone wants to mess with you, they're gonna find a way. That night, Jared didn't go to work. He stayed up, lights off, watching through his front window, phone in hand. He sat in silence, waiting for 2:13 a.m. to come around. At 2:15 exactly, the phone lit up. One ring, then silence. He waited. Nothing happened outside. But the next morning, something was different. He noticed it when he opened his bedroom window for air. There were smudges on the outside glass, like fingerprints, greasy, dirty ones, right at eye level. He tried wiping them off with a cloth but had to use glass cleaner. They were full-on handprints. Someone had pressed their fingers and forehead against the window, which didn't make sense. That window was 10 feet off the ground. He didn't own a ladder. Jared bought cameras the next day, 4 of them. He installed one at the front door, one watching the backyard, one covering the driveway, and the last one pointing up at the side of the house, angled toward that high bedroom window. That night, he stayed home again. He turned off the lights, sat in the dark, waited. At 2:14 a.m., the motion alert went off. The backyard camera. He checked the feed, nothing moving. But the bushes near the fence were swaying slightly. No wind, no animals, just this odd, subtle shift. He turned on every light in the house and opened the back door. There were footprints in the dirt, clear as day. Work boots, deep heel marks, toe turned slightly out like the person had been standing there for a while. They led from the woods to the back door and then around the house, disappearing into gravel near the side. He followed the trail with a flashlight, heart pounding. As he turned the corner near the bedroom side of the house, his light hit something metallic leaning against the wall. A collapsible ladder. It wasn't his. Jared called the police again. This time, they took it seriously. An officer came out, bagged the ladder, and took photos of the footprints. She said they'd patrol the area for a few nights but told Jared flat out, if it's someone watching you, they know your schedule. That's not random. That's deliberate. That night, Jared didn't stay home. He went to Manny's place just in case. But before leaving, he made sure the cameras were working and pointed one directly at the bedroom window. The next morning, Jared checked the footage on his phone. At 2:15 a.m., motion was detected near the side of the house. He tapped play. At first, there was nothing, just stillness. But then, from the edge of the frame, a figure moved into view. A man tall, average build, wearing a hoodie. He walked calmly like he belonged there. No panic, no rush. He stopped at the base of the wall and extended the ladder. The man climbed slowly, step by step, until his head was level with the bedroom window. Then he leaned forward and just watched. The camera had night vision. You could see his face clearly. Blank expression. No smile. No mask. Just a man staring into the dark. And then, without doing anything else, he climbed down, picked up the ladder, and walked out of frame. The police used the footage to put out a local alert. Jared gave them everything: the call logs, the matchbook, the video of the guy's face. They couldn't ID him right away, but they were confident someone would recognize him. Meanwhile, Jared moved out. Same week. No warning, no notice. Left the deposit, packed his stuff into his car, and crashed at Manny's for a while. He couldn't sleep in that house anymore. Who would? About 3 weeks later, he got a call from the police. They'd found the guy, not because of the footage, but because he'd been picked up for trespassing behind a shopping center 30 miles away. Security caught him trying to get into an old supply shed near the dumpsters. When they searched him, they found a small key and a folded piece of paper. On it, a list of addresses. Jared's was one of them. The key opened a storage locker he'd been renting. Inside, they found a bag with rope, gloves, a burner phone, and handwritten notes. Dozens of them. Observations about people. Routines. One-page logs labeled with names and dates. Jared had 5 pages. One of the notes read, "Window too high. We'll need ladder again." He's still not noticing the calls. Jared never found out exactly how long the guy had been watching him. The man, whose name turned out to be Robert West, had a long history of stalking behavior, but nothing serious enough to get him arrested before. He had spent weeks, maybe months, meticulously watching Jared from the shadows, learning his routine, and tracking every little detail. The police discovered that West had been doing this to several other people in the area, but Jared was the one who came closest to being a victim. When it was all over, Jared still couldn't shake the feeling that something was wrong. The police had everything they needed to lock up Robert West, but the thought of him watching, waiting, so close for so long, it made Jared sick. The most unsettling part? West had never once tried to break in, never tried anything overt. He just waited, staying just out of reach, always there but never fully visible. His patience was chilling. Jared never returned to Flagstaff, moving out of state and taking up a quieter life, away from the cameras and the unwanted attention. Every once in a while, when he's alone at night, he still wonders about the calls, the ones that stopped once Wes was caught. Were they just coincidence? Or had they been the warning sign, the first part of the puzzle Jared couldn't see? The one thing he knows for sure is this: someone had been close enough to him. So close to make him doubt whether anyone is ever truly safe in their own home.